Out of all of the use cases on Hedera, this has to be my favorite one, and we are going to be addressing why. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Here we have a post for me back in March where I said my favorite use case building out on Hedera right now is what Neuron World is doing. This is a use case that will significantly bring value and volume to the ecosystem. It highlights how big Hbar will be in the future too. What's your favorite use case? Now, as we go over here to Neuron, this has been a project that has been around since, I believe, 2020, maybe 2021. They've been building for a while. We have Neuron. Neuron is building off of the success of their pioneering drone tracking network to lead a transformation of service management with their decentralized service network infrastructure. Their Web3 powered approach bypasses centralized control, directly connecting service providers and consumers. By leveraging DLT and smart contracts, Neuron fosters a secure and transparent ecosystem. We have 20 billion decentralized physical infrastructure 2023 market cap, 2.7 billion tracked services delivery segments by 2026, and 3.5 trillion forecasted DePIN ecosystem market cap by 2028. And we have, by building on a secure, scalable platform like Hedera, we could bypass the time and resources required to develop a layer 1 network ourselves. This allows us to focus our efforts on what truly matters, creating a revolutionary decentralized service network that empowers businesses and consumers alike. Now, let's be honest, it's very easy to take positions in crypto, but it's extremely hard to actually have a game plan in place when the time comes to take profits. And that's exactly why I released a completely free exit plan that you can apply to literally every single position that you take in crypto. And the best part about it is that it's completely free. All you have to do to get access is go to the link down in the description below and claim your access now. What are you waiting for? Capture those profits. The big thing here is that Hedera was pretty much the only network out there that can provide what Neuron needed, specifically the scalability. Because guys, when I truly say that Neuron, if this project is successful, this will be the only project that we actually need to go live on Hedera. And we're going to be addressing why. But first, let's go over here to the full breakdown from ChatGPT summarizing this use case. We have Neuron is a company revolutionizing service management through a decentralized service network infrastructure. Traditional service platforms like Uber and DoorDash act as intermediaries, creating inefficiencies and taking significant cuts from transactions. Neuron addresses these issues by leveraging Web3 technologies such as DLT and smart contracts to facilitate direct connections between service providers and consumers. This eliminates the need for central authorities, enhancing efficiency, reducing cost, and fostering innovation. Neuron's journey began in the drone industry, where they developed 4D Sky, a decentralized drone tracking network. This system uses a DLT and smart contracts to provide real-time transparent flight data, ensuring safety and efficiency for low-altitude drone flights. The success of 4D Sky demonstrated the potential of Neuron's DSN infrastructure. Now, one thing that I will love to mention here is DoorDash. How many deliveries happen every single day through DoorDash or even Uber Eats, for an example? Now, think about you ordering food, some random person going and picking up that food. Imagine the trust that you have to have in a complete stranger to go pick up your food if you utilize those services. Think about how crazy that is. Now imagine if a drone were to pick up your food and deliver it to you directly. Now you don't even have to trust a person. A drone is going to the restaurant, picking it up and delivering it straight to you. That eliminates any, untrustworthy, decisions that can be made in the time from that stranger picking up your food to the time that it actually gets to you, which is a big problem that I've been noticing around some videos going around regarding Uber Eats and even DoorDash. And I'm sure that you guys probably know about this as well. But here we have the limitations of centralized service networks, such as susceptibility to outages, inefficiency, and data privacy issues highlight the need for Neuron's decentralized approach. Centralized platforms can be prone to technical failures, restrict user access, and handle massive amounts of vulnerable user data. Additionally, they often capture a large portion of revenue, squeezing service providers' profit margins. Neuron's DSN infrastructure solves these problems by creating a peer-to-peer architecture that enhances resilience, scalability, and security. Data is distributed across nodes, eliminating single points of failure and making cyber attacks more difficult. Smart contracts automate transactions, reducing fees and fostering a competitive environment. Neuron chose Hedera as their DLT partner due to its high throughput, low latency, robust security, and predictable transaction fees. Hedera's features align with Neuron's need for efficient, secure, and scalable operations. Looking ahead, Neuron plans to expand their DSN infrastructure to various applications, including, of course, environmental monitoring and campus security. Collaborations with institutions like Cranfield University highlight the potential for Neuron's technology to improve security and resilience in different sectors. Neuron is also focused on growing their developer community by providing robust APIs and tools to encourage the creation of innovative service applications. Neuron aims to shape the future of service management by offering a more efficient, secure, and user-centric ecosystem, leveraging the benefits of decentralization and Web3 technologies. Now, if we actually go over here to Neuron's website, we do see the everything map: build, find, and connect services, and this is pretty much everything that you could even think about. Now, also, they just fully launched their and I'm going to talk about this here in a second, but their beta, which is going to be a big deal. But here we have Neuron can support a range of deep-in use cases, including physical resource networks such as flight tracking, digital resource networks such as video streaming, and human resource networks such as food delivery. So just think about the amount of transactions that this use case would provide for Hedera. It's going to be very significant. Here we have other use cases as well. Again, they fully break this down. Guys, I'm very excited about this use case. And by the way, yes, Neuron was selected by the UK regulator to take part in the CAA regulation. This is a big deal. And in fact, I actually have this open up in a new tab that I'm going to be addressing here in a second. But I do want to go over here to the beta program. So here we have the beta. This is the Neuron beta launch, become a part of the aviation history. And a lot of people that I actually know around this space are already being a part of this journey. And I think that's actually very exciting. And here we could see some images from 40sky.com. And I actually have the beta application open over here. This is what it pretty much looks like. Now, some images look a little bit different. For example, like here we have sensors are now popping up all over the place. Again, this is still in beta, and this is from 40Sky app. Florida is now lit up with aircraft on 40sky.com, connected directly to the platform via Neuron World. This is what it looks like in a more zoomed in view. And this is very exciting stuff. Now, the first individual that I saw post an image regarding this beta was actually Hbar Tata, and we have just received my custom Jet Vision Air Squitter sensor from Neuron World. And this is installed, configured, and now contributing to the live Neuron beta test on Hedera. Smooth setup and impressive range. And yeah, I mean, this is very exciting stuff, guys. Again, this is in beta. Just imagine when this fully launches. I believe that Neuron themselves said that this is like, you know, helium on steroids, because this is going to be a very big deal once we start to see these popping up everywhere and tracking flights and tracking drone deliveries. And, you know, just think of what type of transactional demand this is going to create. It is very exciting. Now, over here we have a video clip from November of what the application actually looks like. Now, this is with real-time drone tracking. This is pretty much the drone in real time starting, how it looks. Again, it follows the pathway. You can see the planes in the sky, again, tracking all the planes. You can see the drone there as well. This is, again, like I said, very exciting stuff, especially if we are going to be talking about a future where, you know, drone deliveries are going to be more, you know, adopted in and accepted. Because remember, when you have drone deliveries, you could deliver, you know, medical supplies very quick. Construction sites will be fully revolutionized by drone deliveries. Imagine, instead of carrying massive bags of concrete mix up, you know, a ladder or whatever the case may be, right? Like anything heavy, imagine a drone that can handle the load, taking those massive weights up, you know, huge obstacles. We're talking about mountains, up on top of, you know, roofs, you name it. That is a possibility. It will revolutionize complete industries that really are ripe for disruption, that haven't been fully disrupted. And a lot of people don't actually look at them as, oh yeah, that's a great use case. It actually is a huge use case. But Over here, we have very excited to announce that our CEO has been asked to feature on a panel discussion on December 5th to disseminate Innovate UK Future of Flight Challenge successes along with, and these are the big players here. Now, again, these are players tied back to Neuron, and I'll talk to you guys about why. Here we have, back in 2022 though, Hedera Hbar forms partnership with the UK government to build an air traffic control infrastructure. Now, this is with Neuron. The UK handpicked Neuron for this. And we have down here a few quotes. Until now, drones have had a limited benefit for governments and private enterprises because they could not be flown safely out of line of sight and therefore could not be used for long distance deliveries, transport, or inspections. With this trial leveraging Hedera Consensus Service, we have made unmanned long-distance drone travel possible using safety-critical aviation infrastructure. This is very exciting. And this is actually regarding a trial for the UK's Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. Again, very huge use case. And this has so much potential. I mean, when we're talking about transactional demand from something like this, regarding medical deliveries, supply deliveries for industries like construction, for example. Then we're talking about deliveries from, it could be packages from Amazon, it could be packages from anywhere, right? Just imagine the amount of demand. It's very exciting stuff. Now, when we go back to these names, for an example, Skyports. So this is Skyports. This is drone services. When we look at this, we have expert drone deliveries and inspections. Again, delivering goods to hard to reach places and capturing critical business data using automated drones. This is all through automation. And if we actually look at the drone deliveries, we can see this on time, on demand. And it can carry up to 150 kilograms of cargo. This is parcels, medicines, lab samples, and cash. I mean, this is crazy. Look at this, 13 countries with BVLOS permissions. This is 150 kilograms of maximum cargo capacity. 0 operational emissions, 500 kilometer maximum range, and 11 aircraft type in fleet. Now, this is just the beginning, right? Like, this is just the beginning of what could happen, but it is insane where we're headed. Here we have offshore delivery as well, delivery of essential cargo to offshore energy assets, serving oil and gas and wind farm infrastructure, operating even when helicopters cannot, increased asset uptime through just-in-time maintenance, removing people from dangerous environments. Guys, this is, I get so excited looking at use cases like this because this is what I envision for the future around deliveries and things like that. Over here, we have Hero Tech 8, which is another player tied to this, right? This discussion with the CEO from Neuron. We have Drone in a Box, fully automated drone services remotely accessed from anywhere in the world. Look at these applications. You have asset management, 3D mapping and digital twin creation, facility and rooftop inspections, emergency aerial response, project progress monitoring, automated perimeter surveillance. Here's the sectors. Emergency services, utilities, infrastructure and transportation, security and defense, facilities management, construction, and the built environment. When we look at these use cases, for an example, right? Like, these are large scale sites where you need deliveries or you need major benefits that drones could essentially create. Like, for an example, here we have typical applications, 3D mapping and digital twin creation, or automated perimeter surveillance. This isn't even supply delivery or anything like that. And we could see the adopted by, and these are some pretty big players. We know EDF is actually a GC member of Hedera's, but this continues on, right? Like, these are some pretty large players. And here are some of the more sectors down here. We have security and defense, facilities management, emergency services, and then even utilities, infrastructure, and transportation. And we can go on and on about these use cases. Over here, we have about Hero 8 or Hero Tech 8. We can see how they deliver a drone in a box technology to support round-the-clock automated drone operations. Now, the thing about this is these use cases are all focused on drone deliveries. The thing about Neuron is that they're not creating the drones. No, they're creating the tracking for the drones. They're creating the airspace for these drones. For an example, like this partnership with Neuron, with the UK government, is to build air traffic control infrastructure. This infrastructure is going to be adopted globally once we start to see drone deliveries really heating up in a large way. It's going to be very exciting. And over here we have Seize.ai. Unlocking potential, pioneering tech. We could see the about section here, new technical and regulatory ground. Again, they are looking to focus on unmanned aerial vehicles will soon transform the lives of people everywhere. They will impact how we live, how we work, and how we travel. And this is all talking about the drone industry. The drone industry has been red hot. It's been not only innovating extremely fast, but it has been moving extremely fast in a sense of it is now supporting these big use cases, and it's disrupting and making efficient a lot of these big industries that have been ripe for disruption. For an example, here's Energy Grid. This is the Energy Grid inspection service. So we actually have transporting electricity is a challenging business. The transmission and distribution infrastructure is staggering in its size and complexity. Across Europe, there are estimated 10 million kilometers of power lines. Enough to stretch 13 times to the moon and back. There are 90,000 pylons in Britain alone. Now, if we actually look at this, we could see that with their system, it introduces several major improvements. Firstly, it enables the remote capture of high-quality close-quarter data. This is all through in a way that is more efficient and perfectly repeatable. And we have, secondly, it simultaneously captures 2D data. This is all through drones. Guys, this is all through drones. This is a very big deal. And look at some of the partners down here as well. Now, this is just one industry. Over here, we have using drones to maintain the road and rail network. And this is where we really kind of look at what drones are doing. So in terms of digitization, that's obviously a big deal. But in this sense, we have the infrastructure sector around Britain has suffered following 10 years of austerity. Indeed, the UK has now committed to investing £29 billion in our road network and £48 billion in our rail network. The large companies are prioritizing digitization of the design, build, maintenance, and operation of our built environments to reduce costs, reduce overheads, and remove people from risk. Meanwhile, the UK government is committed to supporting this new way of working via the National Digital Twin. Guys, how are they doing this? Well, it's because of going back over here to Hero Tech 8. When we come back down here, here's a 3D mapping and digital twin creation through a drone. And even over here, we could see that all of this means the focus is on developing algorithms and increasing automation to extract data. The technology is out there, intelligent systems to decide what to do, tools to confirm work is done. And this is all through drones. This is all through data that drones are controlling with companies like Seize.ai. Now, outside of this, we also have no mission is too complex or too dangerous. This is oil and gas. And again, drones are offering safety benefits. They can be used to inspect remote or hazardous areas such as inside oil storage tanks and remove the need for working at height. So again, this is making these job sites a lot more safer, and it's making efficient the entire time frame as well, because it takes a lot of time to have these inspections happen. With a drone, it's pretty much, in there immediately, and it can inspect right, like almost in an instant, if you will. So very exciting stuff. I'm very happy about this, and it can save a staggering $4 million per day in terms of these benefits. Now we also have Urban Airport, and if we scroll down, we could see Air One stats: 15,000 visitors, 100 plus successful drone flights, 20 private events, and public engagement. And we could actually see Air One media coverage, 10 billion online reach, 982 coverage items, and 84 million offline audience. And if we actually come up here, this is supported by the UK government's Future Flight Challenge program. Air One was designed as a demonstrator to show how purpose-built ground infrastructure can unleash the potential of advanced air mobility. Again, this is all through what Neuron is focused on. And just to give you guys a quick insight over here you have a direct quote from Neuron themselves. Big shout out to It's Brandon D for this. I had a chance to have a conversation in person with the Neuron World guys this year. Solid team. This really gets me excited. And here we have a quote. If Neuron realizes its ultimate vision, Hedera won't need any other use cases to be successful. We're building a marketplace for procuring services peer-to-peer. Aviation data services are a great high volume use case that demonstrates all of the benefits of the technology. Guys, Neuron, if successful, will deliver trillions of transactions. That's right. I just said trillions with a T. Trillions of transactions every single day. And if you think that I'm crazy for saying that, We just went over all of these applications. We talked about how big this is. We talked about food deliveries, medical supply deliveries, tracking flights, tracking drones. All of these are transactions on the network. Guys, anything that's in the sky will be tracked with Neuron. This can lead to trillions of transactions every single day. This will ultimately set the pace for Hedera to be one of the most valuable networks out there. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.